All right, everybody, it's time for tip number 7. I'm excited about this one because it'll probably be new for a lot of you. And the supplement I want to talk about today is melatonin. Now, when most of us hear about melatonin, we think of sleep, right? It's a compound that our body naturally produces to help us with our sleep-wake cycles. But it is something that we could actually supplement with, not just to help us get better sleep, but potentially help us have a more appropriate immune response. So what people don't realize about melatonin is it can act as an antioxidant. It's also anti-inflammatory, just like a lot of the things that we've been talking about through these tips. Melatonin also obviously has the kind of sedative effect to it, so it can, if you're an anxious individual, it could potentially help with some anxiety and then help you get that restful sleep. We know that when we're sleeping, that's actually when we heal and repair. So obviously we want to be getting an abundance of sleep right now if we can. The cool thing about melatonin is it has been studied in preventing certain virus infections, as well as potentially acting as a form of treatment for viral infections. And they've looked at this with RSV, or respiratory syncytial virus, and had favorable outcomes, and they expect the same thing with the current virus that's circulating around. So once again, full disclosure, I'm not saying you can use melatonin as a treatment or for preventative for COVID, don't get me wrong, but it could help your immune system combat or potentially prevent many infections, many viral infections. The cool thing about melatonin is it also can decrease vascular permeability. So it could potentially prevent, once again, this cytokine storm that we're seeing with this current virus going around. So if you are somebody that struggles with sleep, right, you lay down at night and your head's just racing, melatonin may be something that you consider. Now, if you don't struggle with sleep, I don't necessarily think this is something that everybody needs to take. But if you find that you're kind of an anxious individual and it's hard for you to wind down, feel free to supplement with melatonin. But I encourage you to make sure that you only do it short term. Now, melatonin has an extremely safe track record, meaning there's not going to be crazy side effects because of taking melatonin. But what we do notice is if you're taking it for a long period of time, you can actually become dependent on it. And we don't want that either. So if you find that you're having a really, really stressful week, you know that you might be struggling with some sleep, you can supplement with melatonin to make sure you get that restful sleep and help you get through that week. And because of the stress, right, you're going to be more susceptible to viruses and other illnesses. So during a high week of stress, you might want to consider taking melatonin before bedtime. If you have any questions, guys, feel free to reach out to me. Once again, we've posted some research articles on melatonin, but I encourage you to investigate this for yourself. It might be a supplement that you want to consider in making sure that you are a strong, healthy host. Appreciate you guys, and we will see you tomorrow for tip number 8, and we're going to start diving into some foods that we can be consuming to make sure that we're healthier and stronger. Appreciate you guys.